And welcome back to WNKX, ladies and gentlemen, live here on YouTube for our second district championship game of the evening. If you were with us for the first game, we saw the Cheatham County Lady Cubs win the district on the girls' side, but tonight it will be your Hickman County Bulldogs facing off against the Harpeth Indians right here in J.E. Siska Memorial Gymnasium, with the winner claiming the crown of district champion. And tonight's championship game is specially sponsored by the Fairfield Church of Christ. Worship beginning at 9 a.m. with class immediately following, Sunday evening service beginning at 6 p.m., and then a Wednesday night Bible study beginning at 7 p.m. And folks, we will be taking a little bit of a break here. We'll give you time to get settled in and for people to find the channel. It's about 8 minutes until tip-off, and we'll be back shortly. but we are just over a minute away from our second district championship game of the night as the fans continue to pack the building here at J.E. Siska Memorial Gymnasium as Hickman County High School has been the host of this year's district tournament. And tonight will be the Hickman County Bulldogs who enter in tonight 20-7, undefeated in the district, 7-0 with an 11-game winning streak. And Cam, they're playing a Harpeth team who enters in 14-11, 5-2 in the district with 2 wins in a row, both over the East Hickman Eagles. So Cam, while on paper Hickman County does have a better record than Harpeth, Harpeth has proven they are absolutely not a pushover.
Yeah, Josh, it's Harpeth, right? Harpeth has been a kryptonite for Hickman County for as long as I have competed in sports. They always find a way to annoy you, to stick around, because they do a lot of scrappy little things, right? So, and I have no doubt in my mind that this Hickman County team is fully prepared and ready, mentally locked in for what Harpeth is about to bring, because they bring a lot of energy and a lot of effort to the basketball court.
And their starting 5, similar to the starting 5 we saw when they played the Eagles. Caden Johnston, Luke Summers, Caden Duke, Jordan Johnston, and C.J. Turner are the starting 5 for the Harpeth Indians. And the starting 5 of the Hickman County Bulldogs are being introduced. First up is Dylan Qualls, followed by Braden Brown, then Will McDonald, then Elisha Puckett, and Tyler McKinnon. So Cam, both of these teams go under their guns here. Starting 5s that we've seen throughout the year. And these 2 coaches, Coach Chris Dawson of the Bulldogs and Coach Daniel Mauman of Harpeth, they're both saying we're putting it all out here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, it's so loud in here. I basically understood none of what you just said. But I will say this. Going into this matchup, it is a team that has gelled. It's a team that earlier in the season, I really do think that they struggled quite a bit. There was definitely some growth pains, but they have reached a point this year where they have matured together, they have come together as a squad, and they are looking dangerous. If they play their ball game, there is nobody that can beat them.
So Qualls will be in the middle, lined up with Luke Summers for the jump. And it's tipped to Elisha Puckett, and we are underway with the district championship. Braden Brown, right wing, dribbles left, into the paint, gives to McDonald, thought about pulling up, but doesn't. Now drives, steps through off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Summers. Now it's Caden Johnston down the floor, gives to Duke, drives off the glass, no good, and McKinnon gets the rebound. Now Qualls lets it fly to McDonald on the other end of the floor. Now to McKinnon. Brown, Puckett, baseline. Foul is called against Harpeth here early. Look at C.J. Turner as the guilty party.
And Josh, we've seen Harpeth now 2 possessions on defense. They've played man-to-man both times down. The matchup that I'm very interested in seeing is number 10 of Harpeth as Dylan
Qualls.
Qualls.
Count it. Dylan Qualls goes off the glass for the game's first points.
But Josh, as I was going to say, Caden Johnson and Elisha Puckett, they matched up last game. Elisha played very well against him, but he's a small defender. He's very scrappy. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup because Elisha usually doesn't get those smaller guys on him. So it'll be a different look tonight.
And Qualls knocks down the end one to complete the 3-point play, 3-0 early Dogs lead, thanks to Dylan Qualls. Now Harpeth was trying to move fast at first, now they slow it down. Jordan Johnston, who is an electric 3-point shooter for the Indians against East Hickman. Now Caden Johnston kicks out Turner from 3. No good. Ball's loose, picked up by Duke. Duke's shot is no good, but a foul will be called against the Bulldogs. Tyler McKinnon will collect his first foul of the game.
And that's going to have to be something that Hickman County is going to have to be careful of, is making sure they box out number 22, Caden Duke. Last time that Harpeth played at Hickman County, Caden had an excellent ball game. He was making a lot of mid-range jumpers, causing a lot of havoc on the offensive boards, and so they're going to have to put a body on him.
And Duke goes 2 for 2 on his free throws. Dogs still up by 1. And we haven't even played a full minute yet in this first quarter. And Elisha's looking, lets it fly, but not before the 5-second is called, and it will be Harpeth ball. So some tough defense being played early by these Indians. Turner to throw it in, finds Duke out beyond the arc up top. Duke back to Turner. Qualls tried to get a hand on it but couldn't. Turner tries to drive. Shot is no good, but a foul is called against the Dogs. They'll get Elisha Puckett.
Foul number 12, Elisha Puckett, his first team second.
So Cam, we've only played a minute, I should say, and we already see 2 fouls on the Bulldogs. Turner misses the first.
Yeah, Josh, and I think this is just off of miscommunications. They look a little out of sync at the start, but I feel like it's been a second since they've played some basketball. So understandable, starting pains.
And Turner knocks down the second. Now Hickman able to move it down the floor. Brown inside the arc. Gives McKinnon. McDonald from the corner. Bang! And Will McDonald.
Assist for McKinnon.
And Josh,
first three of the game for the Dogs.
That's going to be something we need to see a lot of, is Hickman County stretching out this Harpeth defense.
Turner steps through, gives out to Caden Johnston. Step back three. No good. Rolls out. And McDonald gets the board. Will down the floor. Give the Puckett. Puckett looking for help. Floats it to McKinnon. And I believe it went off the fingertips of Luke Summers. Yes, it did. Bulldog ball.
Josh, Harpeth has come out in a 1-2-2 press, but it's a very solid one because they don't overplay any one thing, so it makes you make a decision. And I'm interested to see how Hickman County continues to deal with it.
So Puckett now near the logo, guarded by Johnson, feeds over to Brown. Brown back to Qualls. Out of Puckett. Drives into the paint. Mid-range. Automatic.
Josh, we know that's his spot. That's where he wants to get to. He's probably going to operate from there a lot in the first quarter. We see him go to that shot more often early in the game.
Duke, left wing, gives up top to Johnston. Johnston dribbles right inside the arc, kicks it back out to Turner. Johnston, baseline, throws it up, no good. McKinnon gets the rebound. He gives it out to Braden Brown, out of McDonald. McDonald thought about it, but dribbles, gives to Brown. Brown drives, McDonald, another corner three. This time no good. It goes to the hands of Luke Summers, and Puckett secures the loose ball and puts it off the glass for two.
And Josh, something I'm finding really interesting right now is Hickman County is not diving towards the boards. They seem to want to run out a lot. It's not something that they typically do, but it's worked out in their favor now 2 or 3 times.
Turner dribbles left, inside the arc, steps back, and goes up top to Johnston from three. No good. Puckett gets the board. Elisha sprinting down the court, met by Caden Duke, feeds the Qualls in the paint. Can't get the shot off the glass, gets his own rebound, and gets the putback.
And if they can get a bunch of second chance opportunities like that, it's gonna bring a lot of value to this game for Hickman County. As many second chance opportunity points as they can get.
So Hickman County starting off hot early as they lead 12-3, under 4.5 to play in the first quarter. Summers off the glass, and it's good. And a foul is called on McKinnon. So Summers will go to the line to try to collect the third point of this potential three-point play as Kylan Seal prepares to check in. Coach Dawson pleading to the official on behalf of McKinnon that his hands were in the air, but the call is final. And Seal subbing into the game for McKinnon. That was Tyler's second foul of the game.
They just punished him for being big. They did it again. It's making me upset.
So Summers, his shot is up and it's in. So the lead cut in half, 12-6. Harpeth still trails. Elisha inbounds to McDonald. Back to Puckett. Puckett floats it down to McDonald, left side of the floor. Will steps back, feeds to Qualls. Qualls bounce pass, Seal to Puckett. Pulls up from McDonald's and buries it.
Rhythm and confidence. We mentioned it last night. Shooting is 90% rhythm and confidence.
And Elisha showing off his limitless range. Duke, left wing, guarded by Brown.
And I like this switch here from Coach Dawson. You have a smaller lineup in, going to a 2-3 zone to make up for that lack of size.
Johnston with a deep three of his own, no good. And Seal gets the rebound as he was doing battle with C.J. Turner. Of course, we saw Jordan Johnston shoot lights out from three, but missing on this attempt. Puckett tries again. This time no good. Duke gets the rebound. Harpeth now driving. Duke to the corner, it's Johnston, baseline. Goes across the way to Caden Johnston. Nice save there by Johnston as it almost went out of bounds. In the right corner, goes across the way to Jordan Johnston. Now up top to Duke near the volleyball line. Duke drives to Turner. Johnston long two, gets the roll.
And Josh, if you're going to give up a shot, that's the one that you want to give up.
So it's Caden Johnston's first bucket. Of course, I'm sure we'll see more of those to come from one of the leaders of this Harpeth team.
Josh, Harpeth has switched into their 2-3 zone that is typically a pretty flat 2-3 zone.
Puckett pump fakes, drives, lays it off the glass with such finesse. Already 9 points for Elisha on this game, and we still have 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And Josh, Harpeth has done a good job of trying to extend the top two guys in this 2-3 zone to try to get some more looks on the inside of the zone to make them make more decisions, but they're just doing a good job of defending it right now.
Caden Johnston quickly feeds, was expecting his man C.J. Turner to be there, but nobody home as it sails out of bounds into the Bulldog bench, and it will be Hickman ball.
And Josh, Hickman County not one time has broken this press in a normal way. They keep just finding some long pass that they're making, and it's working.
Puckett being double teamed, finds Qualls, floats it to McDonald on the baseline. Now in the right corner, Qualls again. Back to McDonald. Seal touches it to Puckett, a little offline, but Elisha secures it. Drives baseline, finds McDonald, catch release three, splash! McDonald buries his second three. Turner drives, kicks it. Johnny Kendrick, who's entered this game for Harpeth. And also number 21, Pete Johnson in the game. Jordan Johnston and Luke Summers subbing out for Harpeth.
Josh, I will say this. Hickman County has done a really good job at staying home in their positions in this zone.
And a tough three there by Caden Johnston gets it to fall.
And now they're going, Harpeth has switched to a full court man-to-man press. So Hickman County just walking the ball off the floor right now with them Qualls.
Qualls looking for help, hands off the Seal, now back to Puckett. Elisha spins through, driving in. Looking for help, there's three guys behind the back! Braden Brown can't cap it off, as that would have been assist of the year, as Elisha goes behind the back over three Harpeth defenders.
Yeah, and that's tough because that'll be two on Elisha. I mean, first off, disgusting pass, but he's got to come out of the game. And you really don't want to see that, but it's just reality. So Harpeth here, if you're going to take advantage of a Hickman County lineup, now is the time to do it. But I will say this, the roles change. Will McDonald steps up as the primary scorer. Charlie Blosted steps up in his role as being that outside shooter. That's the beautiful thing, is they have guys that they can slot in those roles.
And Johnson again from three, and he gets it to fall. So a couple of big threes for Caden Johnston as Harpeth tries to close the gap. 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Brown dribbles left, goes all the way, gives the Qualls, corner three. No good, but the putback by Seal is good. I don't know if we can give Dylan Qualls the assist, but what a way to end the quarter for the Dogs. Your score, Hickman 22, Harpeth 14. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's
cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And we're back as the second quarter is about to be underway. But before that, I want to give a very special thank you to our sponsor for this championship game, that being the Fairfield Church of Christ. Worship begins at 9 a.m. Sunday morning with class immediately following, Sunday evening service at 6 p.m., and then a Wednesday night Bible study at 7 p.m. You can find this church on social media at Fairfield Church of Christ Field Family on Facebook and FCOC Family on Instagram. So thank you to the Fairfield Church of Christ for sponsoring this game. So Cam, an electric first quarter to say the least. We saw a couple of big shots by these Bulldogs. Will McDonald a couple of threes, Elisha Puckett a big three and several twos. But some fouls indeed that they'll have to watch out as this game goes along. And Harpeth will start with the ball first in the second quarter. Up top, Merritt enters the game, who's been very reliable for this Harpeth team.
Yeah, Josh, and you're looking at two Harpeth starters with three bench players right now. So Hickman County kind of it's matching their lineup.
Merritt drives mid-range, no good. Duke gets the rebound. Feeds Merritt, looking for help. And Dylan Quall says not today and bats it out of bounds. And Cam, that was as emphatic of a block that you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a good-looking one too. I love it.
So Duke being met by McDonald. And Brown tries to get the takeaway, but it sails over his outstretched arm. Johnston drives, gives to Duke. Gives out to Johnston. Now Merritt, right wing, drives in. Looking for help. McDonald got a hand on it, but Johnston corrals the loose ball. Now Kendrick dribbles in, feeds, Merritt, bounce pass. And Qualls with a physical takeaway, and a foul will be called against the Indians.
Yeah, just a great job by Qualls, causing havoc right there. If you're going to go for a steal, you have to commit to it, and he absolutely did right there. I love that by Dylan.
They get Pete Johnson on the foul, his first game, and Merritt swats it out of bounds as Brown was trying to inbound it to Will McDonald.
Yeah, and this Hickman County press break has been incredibly effective for it to not look very planned and good.
So Brown down the floor, guarded by Merritt, crosses the logo, feeds to Qualls. Qualls guarded tightly by Duke.
Jump ball called.
And a jump ball will be called, and a foul will be called on Dylan Qualls. So Cam, two guys wrestling with the ball, and the officials get Qualls as the guilty party, but the officials are talking it over.
Yeah, I don't love that call. I hope they overturn it because I think he was just ripping the ball. I don't think it was. If they're debating on a tech, that's a shame. If they are debating on if that was just a loose ball type deal, a jump ball type deal, then I don't love it.
So I believe the officials did confirm the foul on Dylan Qualls, and Coach Dawson asking for the official.
That's insane.
And they're taking free throws. So the foul will be a technical called on Dylan Qualls. And he makes the first. Does Caden Johnston.
And now there's some weird technicality with Will McDonald. I don't know if it was his undershirt or bleeding. Yeah, it was his undershirt again. I mean.
So this has already been an eventful second quarter, and we've only been playing for just over a minute. And Caden Johnston misses his second technical free throw. So he goes 1 for 2. Dogs still lead 22-15. Well, you know what they say, Cam? 3 things are guaranteed: death, taxes, and a questionable Dylan Qualls technical foul.
Indeed, Josh, indeed.
So Harpeth with the ball, of course, after the foul. Kendrick gives to Caden Johnston at the left wing, pulls up from three, won't go. Qualls gets the rebound off the air ball. Puckett down the floor, flying down the floor. Gives to Blystad in the left corner, goes back up top to Qualls. Now Brown. Looking for Kylan Seal, knocked down by Kendrick. Brown luckily gets it over to Qualls. Brown looking for somebody and finds Puckett. Puckett guarded by Johnson, wants to drive, and a foul is called against the Indians.
I did not think that I thought they called that on Elisha as an offense foul. Anyway, just right now, Hickman County looks out of sync, and it is because of all the stoppages and all the things that have gone on. They just need to find their no way.
And an offensive foul called against Elisha Puckett. Interesting. So Elisha, 3 fouls, and we still have almost 6 minutes to play in the first half.
There's 4 on the floor. There's 4 on the floor.
And a walk is called.
Holy. Oh, we got blessed there, Josh. Oh, my word.
It was like in hockey, right? They had the numbers advantage there, but a walk is called on Harpeth.
I mean.
Brown down the floor, gives to Qualls, fires to Seal, back to McDonald from 3. No good. Qualls tips it up. It's a loose ball, and it goes out on Hickman. So Harpeth ball. And Cam, what else would we expect here? I mean, I think we expected a little bit of chaos in the district championship game, especially seeing the Dogs against the Indians. We know the history between these two schools, and it's definitely living up to that right now.
But for all that madness to be implemented by, what I would argue is referee things, not even fouls necessarily. Like, what an absurd thing to, like, what a crazy thing to just, like, Will McDonald's undershirt, that Elisha Puckett charge call, like, just some odd things. And you don't, like, you really hope that if you lose the game, it is due to your own play. Like, if I'm Coach Dawson, if we lose this game, I want it to be our fault, right? I want it to be in our control. So, Hickman County right now just needs to lock in and forget about everything that's surrounding the game and just do what they can basketball-wise.
So Lucas Barton in the game for Harpeth. And Brown tries to go for the loose ball, but it's picked back up by Harpeth. That's Caden Johnston up top. Johnston inside the arc now, dribbles back outside, gives to Merritt. Merritt dribbles in, jump stop, feeds out to Caden Johnston. Johnston drives, gives to the corner. It's Merritt. Spins by Qualls. Gives. Shot is up by Harpeth, no good. Knocked out by Summers, but picked up by Kylan Seal. The shot was attempted there by Eli Johnson. Now McDonald. And a carry is called by McDonald.
You just got to keep playing basketball, Josh. You just got to keep playing basketball. Was it a foul? Or not a foul. Was it a carry? You can make the argument, yes, it was a carry. I would have just called it the classic Allen Iverson crossover, and they made that legal once he retired.
So Harpeth with the ball after the carry. Feels like no one has scored in 10 minutes.
I mean, there's no score because it's just been stoppages.
Barton dribbles in, gives out to Eli Johnson, who goes up to Jordan Johnston. He lost it, and it goes right into the hands of Kylan Seal. Now Brown down the right side. Gives McDonald, step back 3. Buries it. Will McDonald stepping up in a big way here tonight. As that certainly will get the crowd back riled up. And it's Cable. Gives over to Barton. Barton dribbles in, lost his footing for a second, and Qualls just says, give me the ball. Qualls down the floor, drives through, misses the layup. Blystad with the putback won't go. Brown's putback won't go. Loose ball. Blystad has it. And it goes out of bounds. Harpeth ball.
And Josh, if it's that much madness, at some point you just have to grab the ball, bring it back up top, settle it down. And somebody out on that floor has to recognize that. I think that's where the loss of Elisha Puckett's really big here. I think Elisha would have grabbed the ball, taken a little bit of control there, and maybe a little more disciplined play. But instead, we're in the situation, we got some guys playing a little out of control, so somebody needs to grab the reins to get back under control. Oh, my.
And Duke steps through, trying to go into the lane, and a foul is called against Charlie Blystad.
Maybe there was a hand extension that I didn't see. If there was a hand extension I didn't see, I'm okay with that call. But outside of that, I just don't love that. What?
And Blystad is subbed out. Tim Puckett into the game. Feeds Caden Johnston, gets it to go. So Caden Johnson has been the leading scorer for these Indians so far.
Harpeth back into that man-to-man full-court press.
Qualls gives to McDonald. McDonald drives, wants to go all the way off the glass, doesn't get it to go. McKinnon gets the rebound. Put back, no good.
Something.
And Duke, Brown, almost with the takeaway, but it's out of bounds against the Dogs.
I mean, there were two bodies that just barreled into Tom McKinnon's chest, but he's so big he didn't move, and no call. Fired up, Josh. I'm fired up. Get antsy.
We wouldn't have it any other way, though, in this district championship game as Turner now drives, gives. Caden Johnston dribbles baseline, lays it up, no good. Qualls punches it out, and Tim Puckett comes up with it. Qualls left side. Qualls goes all the way.
What is he about?
The shot is waved off, and it'll be a foul called on the floor. And it will be against Caden Duke.
Caden Duke, his first team's third of the quarter.
And Cam, we know in games past between these two, Caden Duke has usually been the one for Harpeth to get into that foul trouble because of his scrappiness and physicality. That's only his first one here tonight, and Harpeth knocks it out of bounds. So props to Duke for playing a very disciplined ball game defensively.
Yeah, but, I mean, most of the night, it's been all Caden Johnston. I mean, he has just been ball dominant and made things happen. He's been very impressive throughout this game.
Brown floats out to McDonald. Some nice hops there by Will. Back to Brown. Brown dribbles right. Lost it, but picks it back up. Now Brown near the logo. Coach Dawson calling the plays, and he goes off the hands of McDonald. A great save. And he gets it back to Brown.
Josh, I would love to see some bounce passes. They keep throwing these high passes, and they have a huge chance of getting stolen.
Bounce pass right there on cue to McKinnon, and a foul will be called again on Caden Duke.
Harpeth's putting a lot of pressure on the Hickman County ball handlers right now. They understand that Elisha Puckett, elite ball handler. The rest of the team is they're solid, but none of them are just absolutely great. So they're taking advantage of that right now.
Brown inbounds to Puckett.
Hickman County just needs to move the basketball with passes. I understand it. A lot of things were working by dribbling early in the game, but pass the basketball.
Brown dribbles in, and a walk is called. So Duke and Kendrick have subbed out for Harpeth. Subbing in is Pete Johnson and Preston Merritt. Under 2 minutes to play in this first half. Caden Johnston being guarded by Brown, gives up to Jordan Johnston, now to Turner. Turner being guarded closely by Tim Puckett. Now Merritt at the right wing, back to Turner, right elbow two, no good. And a foul will be called against Harpeth.
Boy.
No.
That's a box out. That is a box out. There was no arm use.
And Cam, I guess that's why you don't make assumptions. So they will get Dylan Qualls there for the foul, his second. Merritt steps through McKinnon and gets the two.
Yeah, really great move there by that young man. And in a game where offense has been kind of off the wall, a really disciplined basketball move right there, so good job by him.
And Brown, some nice handles, gives to Tim Puckett for the right side. Puckett dribbles left up top, now to McDonald.
Pass, Will, pass.
McDonald finally gives off to Tim Puckett, who feeds over to McKinnon. McKinnon tried to force it in the Qualls, nobody home. Brown almost comes up with a turnover, but it's Caden Johnston down the floor, under a minute to play. Turner.
And Josh, if you're Hickman County, you just have to lock in.
Merritt's layup no good. Rebounded and put back by Pete Johnson. So 4-point game, 25-21 Dogs. Brown drives, Tim Puckett from three. No good, but Qualls flies in with the rebound. The putback rolls out. No good. Harpeth has 15 seconds to score a bucket. Jordan Johnston from three, no good. Turner secures it. Jordan Johnson now drives again, mid-range, no good. Putback good by Pete Johnson. And time will expire in our first half. Your score, Hickman County 25, Harpeth 23, in what has been a second quarter that certainly went the favor of Harpeth as far as momentum goes, but still a full half left to play. I want to give one thank you again to our special sponsor for this game, the Fairfield Church of Christ. With Sunday morning worship beginning at 9 a.m., class immediately following, Sunday evening service beginning at 6 p.m., and a Wednesday night Bible study beginning at 7 p.m. You can find this church on social media, on Facebook at Fairfield Church of Christ Field Family, and on Instagram at FCOC Family. So a special thank you to the Fairfield Church of Christ for sponsoring this district championship game. So folks, for Cam and I, we'll be taking a brief break, and we'll be back in a little under 10 minutes for the second half. So we only have about a minute and a half to go before we resume with our action here from J.E. Siska Memorial Gymnasium. The Harpeth Indians went on a crazy run to bring this game back to a 2-score contest. Your score, Hickman 25, Harpeth 23, and Cam, Hickman County had 1 bucket that entire second quarter. Of course, we had a lot of stoppages in play, a lot of questionable calls on the floor, but if you're Hickman, that can't affect you, right? You know what talent you have, and you know these officials are human. They make mistakes. So if you're the Bulldogs, if you play your game, you make any calls you might not agree with, you make them a non-factor if you just play your game. Of course, we saw Elisha have his 3rd foul in the game. We haven't seen him a whole lot, of course, in that first half. We saw him more in the first quarter than we did the second. So I'm looking forward to seeing Elisha get back on the floor in this second half and hopefully turning this game around for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Josh, if you're them, you just have to hit the reset button. You have to act like it's a 0-0 ball game at the start of the first quarter, and you are going into this thing with refreshed legs, refreshed mind. I understand that things have happened in the past, in the past half that did not go your way. It messed with you. You cannot allow it to just snowball into something greater. This Hickman County team hasn't had too much adversity thrown their way as of late because they've been taking care of a lot of teams pretty handily. So, if anything, it's going to prove to be valuable, and Elisha Puckett will be out on the floor to start this quarter.
But yeah, Ken, to your point, over the course of this 11-game winning streak, there haven't been just too terribly many nail-biters. A lot of them have been by a huge margin or a blowout. So Hickman, their character, their mettle will be tested here tonight against a very game Harpeth Indian team. Brown gives to Qualls as we are underway in the second half. Qualls drives, baseline, kicks it, Puckett, corner 3. Comes up short, rebounded by Turner. That's Caden Johnston down the floor. Thought about pulling up, bounce past Turner, knocked loose by Brown. And McKinnon trying to fight, and he forces the jump ball. And Harpeth has the possession arrow on their side. So the Indians will stay in possession and inbound from the baseline.
And if you're Hickman County, Josh, you have to win the hustle battle this half. I think they lost the hustle battle in that second quarter, and that allowed them to get back into this game. So you have to out-hustle Harpeth.
Duke from 3. Or that was Johnston from 3, rather. The pass was by Duke. On a ball looking for Braden Brown in that right corner. Sails over his head and into the student section of the Dogs. So an early miscue in this second half for the Dogs. Tipped out of bounds by Puckett. Turner was looking for Duke.
Gosh, this is why I miss playing sports. I want to be out there so bad. I love a good tie ball game.
Of course, the crowds for both teams are on fire here tonight, and why wouldn't they be? It's Duke with the ball. Gives up top to Turner, now to Johnston.
Josh, Hickman County switched to their 1-3-1, but the dangerous thing about this is giving up offensive rebounds. Braden Brown is the one at the bottom of this zone. It leaves them vulnerable to that.
And Jordan Johnston sinks the 3. That was his first bucket of the ball game, and we knew it would be only a matter of time before he found that release from beyond the arc. So Harpeth now finds themselves in the lead after trailing by 15 points. Now Puckett drives all the way, layup no good. And Harpeth comes up with it. So 6 minutes left in this third quarter.
Elisha hasn't got to play a lot of basketball this game, so he has got to get back in the rhythm of things. And I'm sure it'll take nothing but just a couple of attempts, but right now I think just out of sync.
A lot of quick passes. Turner from 3. Another. So Harpeth with a couple of early threes. So they find themselves with a 4-point lead, 29-25. McDonald to McKinnon. Lays it up and in. And Cam, that is exactly what you want to see from these Dogs. McKinnon just using his size to his advantage.
Yeah, Josh, just a great job being a big guy. That's going to be something I think is going to play a factor. I know he's got 2 fouls right now, but using him as more of an offensive weapon is going to be big the rest of this game.
Duke gives to Turner in the right corner. Back up to Caden Johnston.
Now,
Turner
Josh,
again.
Hickman County needs to be disciplined defensively.
And a walk is called on Caden Duke. It looked like he tried to pump fake to Summers and just too much motion. Gives the Dogs the ball. And CJ Turner kicks that one up near the catwalk. Brown inbounds to McKinnon. The Dogs now up the floor. Brown floats to McDonald.
They have got to stop those float passes, Josh. That's what's had them turned over so many times tonight.
Puckett guarded by Duke, left side. Puckett now dribbles. Finds Brown, pulls up from three. He got it!
That is a huge shot there from Braden Brown. Hickman County needed something to go their way, really good offensively. That was a pretty good offensive set right there by them, so great job.
And Caden Johnston drives, gives to Jordan Johnston. Bounce pass over to Duke. Duke to Turner. Turner floats it, Summers, and he walks. So perhaps a little bit of miscommunication as Summers and Johnston collide underneath the basket.
Gosh, you know, one of my favorite parts about calling Hickman County games is I get to hear Coach Dawson call out plays that he ran when I was there, and I know exactly what's coming. I don't know why I love it, but I just do.
Puckett drives in, steps through three defenders, and he lays it up and in.
What a bucket to get there.
3 defenders is not enough to stop Elisha Puckett. Now Johnston floats over to Jordan Johnston. Goes across by Turner. McDonald there to meet him quick as he dribbles in and rips it away, and a walk is called.
I disagree with this call. I do think it would have been a jump ball. Nonetheless, Hickman County's ball. Got to take advantage of it here.
So Brown looking for somebody and bounce passes it into Elisha Puckett, who lets it fly. And it's knocked away by Summers, and Jordan Johnston takes a nasty fall. Caden Johnston from 3, no good. Puckett gets the board. Elisha to Qualls, to McDonald from 3, no good.
I just think that was a really intelligent play by number 13 of Harpeth. He knew that there was no way that Dylan was going to avoid not running over him. So just a solid job right there. It's just smart basketball.
Qualls called for his 3rd foul. Merritt gives. Caden Johnston left wing now drives. Pulls up mid-range 2, no good. McKinnon with the rebound.
Josh, Hickman County has got to do a better job of putting bodies on guys to get rebounds. That they've just been all night trying to beat them vertically, and they win a good bit of time, but at some point that's going to come to bite them.
The ball knocked away from McKinnon, but he's able to run it down and give over to McDonald near the logo. McDonald to Puckett. Puckett, nice bounce pass to McKinnon, left elbow. McDonald from 3, comes up short, and a foul is called. McDonald will shoot 3.
And a really good job there by Will to get that shot off. You know, if that was me, I probably wouldn't have shot it with that space that he had, but knew that the guy was going to come off at an angle where he could get fouled. Great job by Will taking that shot.
McDonald hits his first. Cable and Kendrick in. Caden Johnston and CJ Turner out for the Indians. Under 3 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. McDonald still with 2 free throws left to shoot. The second one goes. And number 3 is up. This one no good though. McDonald runs it down and saves it in the corner. Dawson wanting a timeout, doesn't get it, but it's Qualls, steps through, give McKinnon. Can't get it off the glass, but the rebound and putback is good.
I'm not sure if he got away with the walk there or not, but if they didn't call it, it was close, but hey, a bucket's a bucket. Great job there by Tyler McKinnon.
So Cable calls a timeout. And that is some phenomenal defense there by the Dogs, as both teams will talk it over. And while we have a moment, I want to thank our sponsor for this game, the Fairfield Church of Christ. Worship starts at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, with class immediately following. Of course, there's also a 6 p.m. Sunday evening service, and on Wednesdays, a 7 p.m. Bible study. You can find Fairfield Church of Christ on Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, you can find them at the Fairfield Church of Christ Field Family, and on Instagram, the handle is FCOC Family for more details. So thank you to the Fairfield Church of Christ for sponsoring this district championship game.
Josh, we're about to get a cheerleader battle started at every timeout. I can already tell. One of the Harpeth girls went out and did some flips. Aaliyah Simpson said, I'm going to do more. I think we're going to get to see a good battle of that tonight.
Of course, when it comes to high school basketball, it's not just players versus players, fan versus fan, cheerleader versus cheerleader. And Jordan Johnston from three, no good. Kendrick with the rebound. Tries to get rid of it, finds Jordan Johnson, and a nice layup off the glass. Puckett drives, steps through, floater. Won't fall, but he is fouled and will shoot a pair.
Johnston for 2 on that last play. Foul call on number 14.
Josh, when Elisha Puckett gets that head of steam, he's so good at weaving through defenders in multiple ways.
Elisha knocks down the first.
And right now, we have seen him have to kind of commit himself to playing more of weaving in and out of defenders because of his fouls. Usually he likes to use his body to go through defenders, but he's done a great job of kind of nibbling through them.
And McDonald deflects it out of bounds. Harpeth inbound. Jordan Johnston right side gives to Merritt. Merritt being double teamed, gets it to the corner. Kendrick finally puts up a mid-range two, won't go. Puckett with the board. Elisha fires it down the court. Finds McDonald. Hand off to Brown. Brown to McKinnon from the left elbow. No good. Qualls tips it out and picked up by Henry Cable of Harpeth.
And Josh, we've seen McKinnon knock down the, yep, that's a what? Double dribble.
And a double dribble is called against the Indians. So another break going the way of the Bulldogs. We have about 90 seconds left to play in this third quarter. A third quarter that has gone by exponentially quicker than the second or first. So Puckett guarded by Kendrick. Over to McDonald, back to McKinnon, high post, hands, McDonald, drives, gives, Qualls, pump fakes a three along the baseline, swings it, Brown from three, bang! Braden Brown, his second three of the second half.
And Josh, I love it when he is shooting well from deep. Braden Brown can be just another element to this offense that makes it so much tougher to play defense on him.
And Brown turns around and makes a nice defensive play to deflect it out of bounds. Caden Johnston and C.J. Turner back in for Harpeth. Preston Merritt subbing out. And Jordan Johnston from three, no good. Puckett, tough rebound. He takes it himself right side, under a minute to play. Puckett goes all the way. Layup no good, but it falls into the hands of Qualls. Count it, and one.
Wow, that's a huge basket right there. I mean, you get a relatively not common thing. Elisha Puckett kind of just missing the free throw right there, or missing the layup right there. But Dylan Qualls coming behind, getting the second chance opportunity, and going to the free throw line.
And Qualls gets the three-point play completed as he knocks down his free throw. And Qualls' value in this game cannot be understated. Johnston secures a high pass from Turner. And it's loose, but Jordan Johnston corrals it. Johnston dribbles, bounce pass, and McDonald just says, give it to me, and he rips it away. McDonald gives to Puckett. Puckett drives, gives to McKinnon. McDonald dribbles right, and he'll dribble back and reset. 20 seconds to play in this third quarter as Puckett dribbles near the logo, looking to bleed this clock so the Dogs can take the final shot of the third quarter. 10 seconds. Puckett drives, step back, pass, Qualls, no good, but he gets the putback. And the shot is wild by Harpeth, a full court shot, no good. And what a third quarter by the Bulldogs. Hickman leads 46-31. 1 quarter remains. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back to WNKX Live on YouTube with this presentation of the district tournament. We are in the finals between the Harpeth Indians and the Hickman County Bulldogs. Hickman leads 46-31, 8 minutes to go to decide a champion. Puckett looking for Qualls, knocked away by Summers, but Dillon still secures it and fires a bullet to McDonald. McDonald bounce pass, McKinnon gives Brown. Hands McKinnon. Off the glass, an easy two for the big man.
Basketball right there, Josh. That is something Brayden Brown is so valuable, and I hope he can learn more to do.
And Qualls just swats it out of bounds. It will stay with Harpeth, but Hickman County has been disrupting these passes of Harpeth. Oh, and Will McDonald shaken up there. I didn't even notice he took a tumble into the bench over there of Harpeth.
I think he just tripped and fell because he tripped. He didn't dive into it. I think he just fell.
But hopefully he's all right. He appears to be okay. Double teaming Kendrick are the Bulldogs. Jordan Johnston, quick passes to Turner, back to Johnston. Dribbles left. Turner looking for help and finds it. Johnston gives Kendrick baseline. Off the glass, no good, and McKinnon has it knocked loose after the rebound. Turner has it, and a foul will be called against Hickman, and they'll get Dylan Qualls.
Foul call on number 1, Dylan Qualls. His fourth team first.
Yeah, that being 4 on Dylan, that's gonna be a tough foul that he's gonna have to watch because he's played such a valuable role on the offensive glass in particular.
So I'm sure we'll definitely see a little bit more caution taken by Qualls, especially in the paint. Johnston from 3, doesn't get it. Qualls gets the board, looking for help, gets it to McKinnon, now to Puckett. Elisha left side, driving around Kendrick, baseline. Floats it to Qualls, off the outstretched arm. Johnson on the drive, Puckett pursuit. The floater is off the glass and good by Johnston.
Yeah, that's a really good job by Johnson to take his time. Kind of an awkward shot right there, but knew that Elisha was coming, probably has the vertical advantage on him, so great disciplined shot by that young man.
McDonald at the volleyball line gives to Brown. Just over 6 minutes to play in our fourth. Bounce pass, Puckett drives, and a blocking foul is called. The shot was up and in. I don't believe they'll give him the and one though. They won't. He'll be inbounding from the baseline.
Team's first of the quarter. Jordan Johnston with the previous basket for Harpeth. Number 22.
And Caden Duke subbing in for Harpeth. Exiting the game is Johnny Kendrick. Puckett gives, nice pass to Qualls. Now out to McKinnon. Qualls lost the handle of it. Pete Johnson picked it up. Now it's Harpeth on offense down the floor. A jump ball to Duke. It goes out of bounds. And they'll say it stays with Harpeth. Jordan Johnston to inbound from the sideline. Goes out to Caden Johnston.
Josh, you know, this 1-3-1 has been way more physical tonight than it has been in the past.
Duke tries to step through and a walk is called. So too many steps there by Caden Duke, and it will result in a Bulldog possession.
Big fan of Hickman County basketball. That wasn't a lot.
Puckett guarded by Caden Johnston. Puckett drives into the paint, puts it up, no good. McKinnon tries to secure it, but it falls into the hands of CJ Turner. Now Harpeth down the side. An offensive foul is called against Duke. And that was a whole heap of contact there on Elisha Puckett. So 3 fouls on Caden Duke with 5 minutes to go. So not a big factor. Qualls goes all the way, layup off the glass, no good. Now it's Turner to Caden Johnston, back to Jordan Johnston off the glass, and the 2 falls in for Harpeth. So Cam, Jordan Johnston has been the main producer for this Harpeth team this second half with 9 points. The only other scorer has been CJ Turner with 3, and a timeout is called by Coach Dawson.
Coach Dawson kind of felt forced to call that timeout right there. They looked a little unsure what to do to get the ball across the court, but that's less of what had to do that timeout, and more just like I need more out of you guys. I need there's a sharpness that we played with in that third quarter that we haven't seen that amount of sharpness, right? You've been solid, right? Like, you'll cut through butter, but that's not hard to do, right? We need something sharp. We need something that'll cut right through anything. So we have to come out better, more prepared, more on the same page. And you can take, like, if I'm Coach Dawson, I'm telling them, take the reins off. Like, we're playing like we're still trying to stay out of foul trouble. Like, yes, we're trying to stay out of foul trouble. Dylan, I understand you have 4, but if you aren't playing this game to win, if you're playing this game to try to make sure they don't come back, they will come back.
So Hickman starts off with the ball following the timeout. Brown gives to McKinnon. McKinnon back to Brown. Brown floats to Puckett. Goes over McDonald from 3. No good. McKinnon gets the rebound. Off the glass. Count it. And 1 for the 6'6 junior Tyler McKinnon. Big man ball here in J.E. Cisco.
And Josh, you know, I have loved seeing the determination that Tyler has played with as of recent. Just doing big man things.
The free throw is no good. Tyler almost got the rebound, unable to do so, and Harpeth with the ball. Johnston drives all the way, denied by Puckett. Now Elisha on the drive, lost it. It's loose. Brown dives on the floor, still loose. And it's finally Harpeth that gets it, but Qualls takes it away. Now to McKinnon. And a foul is called, waiting for the guilty party. And it's against Qualls. That's his 5th. He is out.
And Josh, if you are Hickman County, you cannot let this change anything in your game plan. In fact, if it does anything in your game plan, it makes you focus more, right? You make up for where your teammate fouled out.
And Turner from 3, no good. Blystad in the game now. Turner with the board, no good. And Puckett gets it down the floor. Elisha to Brown, to McDonald. Oh, McDonald wefts his way through from 3, no good. And it's rebounded by Caden Johnston. Johnston down the floor in a hurry. Now dribbles back out of the paint, out of the baseline. Bounce pass, deflected by Brown. and it will be Harpeth ball. So some unhappy fans after that one, but it is what it is. And Harpeth will inbound from the baseline in front of their own cheerleaders.
Now,
Subbing out is Johnny Kendrick.
Josh, there's a 15-point deficit with about 4 minutes to go in this ball game. If you are Hickman County, the way you close this game out is hustle.
And Johnston, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Puckett, and he's fouled. They'll get C.J. Turner. That'll be Turner's third of the game. And Eli Johnson subs in for Pete Johnson. And Elisha, being double-teamed in the corner, gets it out to Brown. Now to McDonald. Blystad up top, guarded by Merritt, gives to Seal, back out to Puckett. Just over 3 minutes and some change to play. McDonald dribbles right. Gives to Blystad. Got a Seal. So Hickman just bleeding some clock here, under 3 minutes to play. McDonald dribbles near the logo. And Blystad is fouled.
Josh, Hickman County, really good job there of just keeping possession. Now, Chuck goes to the free throw line. These are going to be big free throws. I think the air around the game is Harpeth still feels like they have a chance in this basketball game. It's getting to where they aren't necessarily, but if Chuck can knock these couple down, it definitely puts into a more of a long shot idea in their head.
So Blystad makes the first. Number 2 is up. This one no good, rebounded by Johnston. Looks like Tim Puckett, the next man to sub in for the Dogs. Merritt, step back. Bounce pass to Eli Johnson. Guarded by Seal, and Hickman gets the takeaway. It's Blystad. Finds Puckett. And Elisha being double teamed by Merritt, and Cable gets it out to Brown. Brown back to Puckett. Puckett drives. Out of Blystad, out to McDonald. And Johnston tries to knock it away, and a foul is called. And that will send the Dogs to the line yet again.
Jordan Johnston with the foul, his second.
Who else would you want, Josh? Who else would you want at the line but Elisha Puckett?
We know what happens when we say that, Cam. We might need to watch how this goes here. Number 1 is up. It's good.
I had a feeling.
You had a premonition, some might say. 2:12 to play in the fourth. And while we are awaiting this free throw, I want to give a very special thank you to our student-led crews here tonight. They've been running our camera and production so far, and a special thank you to Matthew Dotson for putting together this AV class to have these students have this opportunity to help us out. It is greatly appreciated. And a reverse layup, no good. Puckett gets the rebound. And Elisha made both of those free throws. And another 2 there for the Dogs.
Number 13, Luke Summers for 2.
Josh, back to throwing that floating pass. It makes your skin crawl. It's a classic high school move, but it keeps working out.
McDonald inside the arc, feeds to Blystad, lost it though. And that Blystad, like a steamroller, rolls through the paint. And the PA announcer called that a hustle play by Blystad. I think we can agree with that. So under a minute and a half to play, Harpeth letting it roll down the floor to not start the clock. Now Johnston picks it up. Gives to Barton. Barton back to Cable. A deep 3 by Cable. No good. Puckett gets the rebound. Elisha with the jam! Throwing it down is number 12. And a 3 attempted, and it's good. Jordan Johnston with a 3.
Jordan Johnston for 3.
And Puckett lets it fly. Has Brown to McDonald. Thought about shooting a three, but doesn't. Under a minute to play. And a foul is called, as it was Henry Cable that hit the floor there.
Foul call against number 3.
And that is the man who they will get for the foul. McDonald to shoot a couple.
I will say this, Josh. The whistles in the second half have not been insanely generous to Harpeth, but they have put themselves in multiple situations out on the floor for those fouls to be called. Now, one could argue, I'll change my statement. Hickman County has done things to put Harpeth in a position to make them commit those 50-50 could-be fouls.
So the ball is loose. Tim Puckett going to war for that ball. And a jump is called.
Jump ball called, possession arrow Harpeth.
And it will stay with Harpeth. 37 seconds to play. Dogs up 58-40. Inbound, Caden Johnson in the paint. Denied. Blystad with a nice save to get it to Braden Brown. 30 seconds to play. Brown down the floor. Gives. McDonald lost it for a second, but maintains it in that left corner. Guarded by Cable. Now to Blystad. To Puckett. And they will let this clock run out. And the district runs through Centerville as the Hickman County Bulldogs, in about 12 seconds, will be crowned your district champions. Your final score, 58-40. Bulldogs defend their home turf, and they will go into the regions with a whole lot of momentum. What a ball game, what a performance, what a tournament, what a season up to this point for the Hickman County Bulldogs. So many players getting involved for the Bulldogs on offense. It was a team effort in the end, even through all the foul trouble that they faced. And for Harpeth, a valiant effort. Jordan Johnson had a phenomenal second half, but in the end, it wouldn't be enough. So folks, one more time, your final score, Hickman 58, Harpeth 40. Your Hickman County Bulldogs are your district champions. And one last time, I want to thank our very special sponsor for the night, the Fairfield Church of Christ, with Sunday morning worship beginning at 9 a.m., class to follow, Sunday evening service at 6 p.m., and a Wednesday night Bible study at 7 p.m. You can find Fairfield on Facebook at Fairfield Church of Christ Field Family and on Instagram at FCOC Family. For my broadcast colleague, Cameron Peters, I've been Josh Copley. Now, folks, there's no rest for the weary, as later this week begins the region tournament. Friday begins the girls. Saturday begins the guys. We will see you then. But until then, we bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night.